All right, and staying on the road today, we're going to be doing an interview with Alex from Revive. And then enjoying the RV life, we're going to talk about essential multi-purpose tools and products for easy RV living. Then the next stop, we're going to visit the heart of the Silicon Valley by visiting San Jose. Then in Shadows of the Past, the towns that once were, we're going to visit Carmel by the sea. Then in RV Envy, we're going to talk about Harbor Freight Icon tools and how they stack up against Snap-on tools. This is Eric Stark with the Smart RVer podcast, your trusted source for tips and insights to embrace the RV lifestyle without worries. So let's talk everything RV today. It's episode 171, so let's jump right into it. So Alexis, you all fired up and ready to go today?
I'm fired up.
Fired up.
Cheetos.
Cheetos, right on. What are those other things we had?
Takis.
Takis. Mm-hmm. That's what we need in the morning. Takis and donuts.
Good way to start your day. Oh, yeah. Heartburn City.
Heartburn City. All right. So one thing that comes to mind before we dig into this, I want to give Michael, I forget what state he's in, but he was looking at a new RV. Now, I'm going to give him the Smart RVer Award. Do we got an award here?
There you go.
Yeah, it's a pair of glasses. So we don't have an actual award. Maybe we need to have a award, a little trophy, like a baseball player. We can find them at thrift stores or something.
Yep.
So he was looking at buying a new RV. And, so he's going about it very methodically, like he should. And so he sent me some questions, and we went through it. And then he kind of backed off that RV because he realized maybe it's not the RV he thought it was. Then he found another one that's been sitting on a lot for a couple of years. So we kind of went through that and some of the pros and cons of it sitting around. It'd have to be a really good deal. Mm-hmm. But he decided he's going to pass on that one as well. Wow. There's just enough there that it wasn't it. Now, so I bring this up because he's not really shopping by emotion.
Yeah, thank goodness.
He's going through it, and he realizes that there'll always be another best deal. They're not a one-off. Every time you find the best deal, there's already another best deal.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's not by emotion. So I want to give him the Smart RVer Award of Excellence today. So, all right. So he did a good job with that. Okay, so we're ready to go, and we're going to jump into enjoying the RV life. And Alexis is going to share with us the tips and tricks on using multi-purpose tools without cutting your fingers off.
Yes, we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think this was a really good one because I always think about what I need to bring with me when I go out into the woods or when I RV. It might not be in the woods, but our RVs only have so much space. So we really try to, collapse everything down in something we can just small that we can use. It's still useful, but it doesn't take up a ton of room and it doesn't weigh a lot. So a few things on my list, and I'll read them off, but I won't tell you everywhere you can get them because that is on our website. But a couple of the things I was thinking about were collapsible kitchenware, because those cupboards in the RVs are not very big. So if you've got these bowls that shrink down, you could fit so much in there. So that's one of the things. The other thing is the Swiss Army knife. Hopefully we all have one of those, or a multi-tool,
Right. Are those multi-tools, what are they called? They're ones, Leatherman.
Yes, Leatherman. Yep, one or the other. So another smart thing to have, great for quick fixes, a bottle opener, all kinds of things you're probably going to need on there. One of the next things is an Instapot. And this might not, and I say Instapot, it's Instant Pot. I don't know why I do that. But this might not be for everyone, depending on what kind of power you want to use in your RV. But it is super useful. It cooks food so fast that, you got your hungry kids and your husband waiting. So you can throw the food through the window at them.
Hungry
hippos. And then I think every camper probably has this, but a folding camp table. Again, condenses, space saving, great to have either inside the RV or outside the RV. Yeah, so I like that one.
Yeah, gotta have one of those.
Maybe I'll skip down a little to number 7, space saving hangers. Okay, this is a huge one because in our RV, the closet is that wide. And maybe I'm exaggerating, but it is not a lot of space. So
for those of you that couldn't see, that's about 4 inches.
4 inches. Yeah. It's a very small fish. So that is another good thing. Keeping still keeping things organized, but condensing that space. Something you know more about is foldable solar panels.
Right.
Yeah, that's something nice for boondocking. People want to use that, but it doesn't take up a lot of space. And then the last thing is the dual use camping chairs. So some have built-in coolers or storage pockets. Okay, that's a must. So that's the last thing on the list. And really, we've listed these. We've put links in them to where you can buy them, the approximate price. So my tip to you is just think about the space that you have, things that you really need, and try to make them in the condensed form.
There you go. And also, there's a lot of stuff today, like fold up shelves you can mount that they fold up and go out of the way that you don't use, like when you're using the RV.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you don't need it for whatever, you set your phone on it while it's charging, I don't know. Then you move it up out of the way.
Yeah.
And you had magnetic spice racks on
Yes.
the deal, which are kind of cool, or
Very
racks
cool.
in general. A lot of these guys that live in their vans or do that van camping, they use magnets everywhere.
Yep.
A little harder in RV, but it's still a doable thing. You could actually mount some round discs on the wall if you wanted to put it up in a certain place.
Yep.
Like in our store, we have those posters with
Yeah.
the round discs and magnets holding them up. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So those are some good tips. And, of course, everybody's RV is a little bit different. How you store, how you travel is up to you. But like the space saving or the collapsible containers, so when they're in storage, they're great, but you have to take them out and uncollapse it to use it. But when it's all done, it collapses back down again, gets it out of the way. So it does give you more room. And then, it's easier to see what you have, too. You're not having to move 485,000 things to get to one thing.
Exactly.
Which, it becomes a hassle. But no, that's great. And so along with lines of that, it's about falling in love with your RV again. You make some room inside and buy some cool things, then you kind of fall in love with your RV again. That's going to be our theme for a while here. You got to fall in love with your RV. If you don't, you're not going to use it. It's going to be like your dog you hate. It's just going to sit in the corner. You're going to ignore it forever.
So sad.
All right. So now, that's right. Money saving tips. Kind of forgot where I was at. So the money saving tip this week is it's a little story about Harbor Freight and their Icon wrenches. Now we're focusing on the Icon wrenches. Now there's a lot of comparisons online, about 485 zillion of them, using Icon wrenches and Snap-on wrenches and seeing which one's better. And the bottom line is the Icon wrenches almost perform the same as the Snap-on wrenches. It even depends on the size. The larger ones aren't as good, like you get up to 7/8, 3/4, but they're still really good. And, if you haven't bought a set of Snap-on wrenches in your life, right now, I looked online, they're about $1,000.
Wow.
Now, I think if you have a tool truck coming to your business, you can get one maybe for $700. But let's just focus on the $700. That's a lot of money. And now they're great wrenches. I've had the same Snap-on wrenches since I was like 14 years old. Been working on cars and stuff that long, and they're the same exact ones. Not one of them's been replaced. So that says something. Now, when you buy cheap wrenches like Craftsman, other brands, like Craftsman will just break, and that sucks. Other ones will round the bolts, the head of the bolts, because they flex and bend. So you can't use them the same way as you can a Snap-on. Now, the Icon wrenches, though, they test with all these different tests people have done. They're really close. And for like $129, depending on the set you get, what a difference, And you're getting a quality wrench. They almost look like Snap-on wrenches. Nice chrome finish on them. They're rounded. The ergonomics are good. So if you're looking for tools, I would definitely shop at Harbor Freight and see what they have. Harbor Freight used to be known as just like throwaway tools.
Yeah.
If you needed a drill, like a 1/2-inch drive drill for one project, or or a hammer of some kind, you just go there and buy it. If it lasted for the project, great. You throw it away. But they've changed. Their power tools are better. They have different brands now within the Harbor Freight name. And I wouldn't buy everything there, but you have to do a little research there. But they are coming around, and they're trying to get into this professional tool game. So they're doing a good job there. So for saving some money And even if the Harbor Freight tools are a little bit more than what you would normally buy, let's say a set of wrenches at Home Depot or someplace, you're not getting the quality. Buy it once and be done with it.
Yes.
Don't buy it 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. And if you ever had a wrench slip or break on you, you know what I'm talking about. It sucks as your knuckles go tearing across something and blood's pouring out everywhere, and Yeah. So it's no fun.
Nice visual.
All right. So that's our money saving tip and enjoying the RV life. So think about the different things for your RV to make a little easier, more compact, give you more space, because it's very important in RV, as you know. And a reminder to shop local before you shop anywhere else. There's so many businesses that want to see you come through the door. They want to earn your business. Give them the opportunity, because I guarantee they're selling better quality products than you can get online. And then if you need help, return, support, they're there for you. You can't get that from the Jungle website. It's not going to happen. All right, so now it's going to bring us to staying on the road, and this is going to be an interview with Alex from Revive. So let's go ahead and listen to that. So in this Staying on the Road, we have Alex from Revive by Genesis, and he's going to share the product line with you, how to fall in love with your RV again. Maybe your RV's gotten kind of old and ugly. Hate to say it like that, but hey, life happens. So it's time to bring that RV back to life, fall in love with it again with the Revive product line. So the Revive product line refreshes the inside of your RV, makes it look brand new. This product line is absolutely awesome. It's probably the best product I've seen in decades because of what it does and the simplicity of it and the cost savings and everything else about it. So we have Alex here. So Alex, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for having me. Really excited to be here.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you, because this is a product that I think everybody that owns an RV, even new RVs, can use it. Because my wife saw it and she's like, we can do something with this wall in the RV. Just change the color of one wall. It's a new RV and makes perfect sense. A little, what would you call it? Contrasting color,
Yeah, accent wall, right? Accent wall.
There you go. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So Alex, so you're the expert at Revive. We'll just start off with that. So you know everything there is to know about this product. At least we hope so. So what's the purpose of the Revive product line?
Well, I mean, Eric, you said it best. It's to fall in love with your RV again. It's going to help end users or consumers to really be able to make the unit that they live in or that they travel in it look exactly how they want it to look inside. And it's also going to help dealerships with upfitting used units that are on the lot and just making RVs, the interiors of RVs, look exactly like consumers would like. So there's a few different product lines here within the Revive collection. And the first and main product line being a wall overlay. So it's just a peel and stick overlay with the same exact film that you're seeing in RVs today with a specialized adhesive. So in other words, it's not going to fall off. There's going to be a bunch of different colors that you can choose from, 10 to be exact, and you're able to see a wide variety from your lights to darks to wood grains to a little bit more design forward that could work, as you said, the accent wall. We also have 2 different colors when it comes to sealing kits. So it's still just the same thing. It's a peel and stick overlay with the 2 most popular designs for ceilings today. It's that pebbled look, that pebbled white look, and then like a speckled look that is more of a bright white. And then we also have some overlays for cabinets that you can do as well. So if you wanted to brighten up your kitchen or your bathroom with cabinetry, you can brighten it up. You can make it darker, or you can make it white or black as well.
All right, perfect. So that's interesting because that's the entire inside of an RV, basically, other than the flooring.
Yeah. Anything decorative inside of the RV that is laminated, Genesis products, which Revive is the aftermarket for Genesis. Revive is able to handle for you.
Right. So what really got me, I mean, the walls and the ceilings are totally awesome, but doing the cabinets, making them look brand new, that was just that was just ideal because,
Mhm.
you make your walls look nice, but you still got these cabinets that look like they're from the 90s or something. It just
Yeah.
doesn't work, but you can do the cabinets. So I should say not in every case it won't work, but, I think you get certain cabinets that get a little beat up and man, you can refresh them, revive them, fall in love with your cabinets again. Absolutely
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, and,
But,
and just to go a little bit deeper with that too, Eric, I think that you said it well there. Most of the time, you're able to overlay your cabinets. So you don't want to overlay anything that's too ornate, because that's just going to get really difficult. But your standard shaker door, your 90-degree angles and everything, completely easy. But we also have a cabinet door program that if you go to a dealership that is stocking Revive, you can order brand new cabinet doors from Revive with your dealership, and they'll land to that dealership within 4 to 6 weeks in the color that you want, and then you will just be responsible to overlay the cabinet boxes. So you could have brand new cabinet doors in the Revive color of your choice, or you can overlay the cabinet door.
right. See, that's perfect. Some cabinet doors you couldn't do yourself. Well, you could. They'd look horrible. But
Hmm.
just buying new ones makes absolute sense. Then they're new too. Depending on the RV,
Right.
you might need them at that point,
Exactly.
Beat
Exactly.
up a little bit beyond repair, Screw holes are all massively, widened out or made bigger because screws stripping out and so forth. All
Hmm.
right, perfect. So that's pretty cool. So that's definitely an awesome product. So now I was looking at your website the other day, the Revive website, and the installation looks, pretty easy to me,
Hmm.
looking at it. And I know that it's not 100% shown every like minute little step in the
Yeah.
videos because you can't do that. You'd be there forever doing it. So is this something your average RV owner could do themselves?
Absolutely, absolutely. So especially with your wall boards. So your standard wall board is 4 foot wide by 8 feet tall, and then there's a little bit taken away with your trim pieces and everything. This material is super forgiving. It's a really thick vinyl with a nice embossment on it. And all it is it's just a peel and stick. So you start from the top and you work your way down, making sure that you're making sure that there's no air bubbles left inside of it. That being said, I'm pretty average at being handy, we can say, and reviving a wallboard is no problem for me.
All right. So you said peel and stick. It kind of makes me think of, people have bought like a laminate, a vinyl
Yeah.
type laminate, it has a
Mm.
wood grain on it and they, put it on their walls and you see all these bubbles and seams and, it just looks horrible, creases and stuff. It's like probably looked worse than what they had to begin with.
Yeah.
So if you use the putty knife that's provided, they're I
Hmm.
guess putty knife you'd call it. There's no problem if you just take your time, kind of think about the process and what you need to do. The air bubbles are the thing to get out. And the way
Hmm.
your videos show it, you're working in a one direction. So that makes it real simple, right? It's pretty much bulletproof at that point.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So what's really nice again is that you can rework this. So this vinyl, it's nice and thick. You can even crease this vinyl, and you're going to be able to work that out with the putty knife. So you get multiple tries with this. It's not one of those. It's not like that super sticky material that the contact paper that once you touch the wall, it's done. That's your only chance. No, this is something that you can mess with easily for an hour trying to make sure that you're getting this correct. And after 72 hours, that's when it's cured and that's when it's going to be permanent. But yeah, it's the main thing is just working the bubbles out with the putty knife that's provided, and just making sure that you're going in straight lines.
Right. So I've done some wrap on vehicles before, like on my trailer, it has my logos and stuff on it,
Hmm.
it's like a sideshow going down the road. But
Hmm.
it sounds like the product's totally different because those things you put on, you got a little bit of time with water,
Yeah.
a little alcohol in it, and you can move it around. But you get to a point where that's it. You can't do it anymore. So any air bubbles in there, even though the manufacturer says air bubbles will come out, they
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
You're kind
Right.
of stuck. even
Right.
if you put a pinprick in it, it doesn't really do it, It's kind of an
Yeah.
interesting thing, but yours sounds like it's even better than that. And it's probably because just the way the material's made, the laminate, a little
Hmm.
bit thicker. Like you said, you could crease it. And I forgot about that. You said your installer folded it up or someone did,
Yep.
made it like a ball and put it on. And
We had a tech that a tech at one of the dealerships that we partnered with that said, "Oh, I want to see this made into a 6-pack." So they folded it up a bunch, and then we stuck it back on the board, and in it the creases came out. You couldn't even tell. Yeah, so it's obviously if you're crumbling it up into a little ball and the adhesive is touching the adhesive, that's not great. But what makes this way different than what you were saying, Eric, with the car decals is that with a decal like that, if you crease it, you're going to see that
yeah,
crease in it. With this, you're not going to see it. You're able to remove it, as we've shown at the shows and everything like that. And if there is an air bubble that you find later on, the pinprick trick absolutely works. The pinprick, or just a little slice with a sharp razor knife, and you can work that air bubble out.
yeah, I'd use a pen, not a razor knife.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oops.
yeah. Right, right.
But you got plenty of time to take it off and start over.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, and thinking about that, some people are very particular. So that, like the time you have to move it around and adjust it, not that you really want to spend an hour trying to get one, panel done or something, or a half of it. That's crazy. But giving you that time, it relaxes. You can be a little calmer and
Hmm.
rational about it. Because, something like this, you get a little nervous and you start putting it up there and you feel like once you're committed, you're committed. And oh my gosh, and you just start rushing through it. But, to get it done now, But
Right.
that's pretty cool. You got the time, and time is on your side in this case.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Something that we do at the shows, which is where you and I met, um, is that we have like a wall board that we have up, like a piece of wall board that we're overlaying, and we use the same piece of Revive to overlay for 30, 40 minutes at a time, where we're taking it on and off nonstop for every single person that comes to visit. So for any viewers that come to the Hershey show, or the Tampa show, or any of these major shows that we're at, we have a wall board that we're overlaying, and we use the same piece for a very long time to show that it's super easy to use, and that you're really able to maneuver it after the initial stick.
all right. So that's great. So when you have that RV, you want to think about um, these types of things that you can bring it back to life, give it that whole new look without it being a total nightmare. Because replacing wall boards or ceiling panels is a lot of work and it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So this makes it much simpler, and I think that's the whole point. Coming from the manufacturer who makes these products for RVs anyways, I mean,
Hmm.
that's a win-win. It's not somebody else trying to do it. You guys already are doing it. You just kind
Right.
of put it in a different direction. Now, with that being said, so you've got the product, you're ready to get going, and you've watched the videos. And in the videos, they make it look really easy, like
Hmm.
cutting out around some of the window rings and things like
Hmm.
that. Would you recommend it's better to take the rings off the window, or leave them on and then cut out around it and the little wall plates and things like that? Strip the wall of everything, or cut out around it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Just I guess I'll get into just prepping for it a little bit. And the first thing is, yes, I would make sure that I would want to take all of that off first. But before you do anything, you're going to want to clean the wall. You're going to want to wipe it down. So you can spray it with some some water that has mild soap in it. Wipe it down. Make sure that there's absolutely no citrus or oil based cleaners that you're using, because that will eat away at our adhesive, and that's super important to understand. Just uninstall any of the light fixtures, or the window rings and everything, and then overlay, and then cut, and then use those guidelines to cut the material. The material is really easy to cut as well. You just want to make sure that you have a sharp blade. And then when you're reinstalling everything, it's very important to note that if there's any like screw holes that you're going to be screwing anything back into that you've previously overlaid, you want to mark that as you're overlaying it. and then you want to puncture it before you screw anything back in, because that'll cause what we call creep, which is like the little veins that you can see. But if you puncture it before, then that will not happen.
Okay, great. So one thing I want to say though, if you take the rings off your windows,
Hmm.
you got to make sure your window's not going to fall out.
Yeah, yeah,
Because that is the clamp that holds it in. It's probably going to stay in there by itself because of it's sealed in there. But I would make some small little clamps just to hold it in place, some temporary ones, which would be pretty simple to do. A little piece of metal or something, have 2 or 3 of them or 4 of them around the window
yeah.
using existing screw holes.
Yeah, you don't have to. Just taking the trim off around it is ample. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have someone that you don't like, to have them stand outside and hold it for an hour or so.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, or that's the thing. It doesn't take very long to do this, so they won't be out there for very long. Maybe if it's cold, you have them go out. If you don't like them, then you have them go out there, and you can take your time.
Now, so let's say you do a wall with a window in it, and so you take the ring off, you put the Revive on there, the laminate looks great, and can you put that ring on right away? You don't have to worry about it, like the Revive setting up or anything like that?
Yeah, as long as you're happy with what your overlay looks like, the bubbles are gone, you've removed bubbles, and the lineup is there. Yeah, you can put the ring back on.
Okay, so you can just put it right on, then that's pretty cool. So you're not wasting time having to wait. So you can get it back on there and kind of move on. Then you see the finished product. The sooner you see it, you're like, oh, this is nice,
Yeah, yeah. It's really nice to see the contrast, the before and afters.
And then some RVs, they might have wood trim at the wall and the ceiling, and a lot of them have that plastic beading in there. I know it's 2 different things, but putting the overlay on there, does that make it harder, or you have to take the trim off if you have wood trim? The beading, would you cut it out or just leave it there and just carefully put the overlay up to it?
So great question. I guess you can do both. You can do either one, right? So the overlay absolutely can go over that, as long as it's not too ornate. But if you remove it, we put into each one of our kits, there's an 1.5-inch seam tape that matches the roll, that you can wrap the battens or the inside corner, the small inside corners, and everything like that. Or what you can do is you can if it's easy enough to overlay, you can, but you really want to make sure that there's no air bubbles that get left there. So you want to be careful. My best suggestion is that you would want to remove that and then overlay the battens and then reinstall.
Right. Okay, so like some RVs, like if you have let's say a brown panel look on the walls, and it's going to have a brown bead between the wall and the ceiling. So that bead might be better off to cut out and then get some trim or battens and then wrap those and then put them back up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that can make it a little more involved, but it's not the end of the world, especially wrapping those battens. I mean, they look like they'd really be easy to do. To lay them out, put it on there, flip them over, and wrap the backside.
Yeah, they're very easy to do. Yeah.
All right, so
that is intentional for that as well.
Yeah, so that makes me think that before you started this project, even measuring and figuring out what material you need, is to look at the overall project, what you might have to do before you ever start. So when you go to buy the material, all the overlay, that you're getting the right quantities and thinking about, well, I might have to put in 40 feet of battens or something like that.
Yeah.
Does the kit come with enough, and just make sure you're covered, and to just plan that out rather than just get it, pull a release liner on it and put it up and start doing it.
Right. No, that's a great point. We spent a ton of time looking into this kind of stuff as we were trying to come up with the different sizes and everything. So again, Genesis Products, the company that Revive is the aftermarket for, they do just thousands and thousands of wall boards, panels of anything from wall boards to ceiling panels, cabinets per week that we're sending out to all of our OEM partners, which are any OEM in the industry. And what we noticed was, so obviously the standard wallboard is 4x8. So we wanted to make sure that we made it as easy for the retail customer as possible, So we made it a 2 foot wide by 50 foot or 2 foot wide by 100 foot. So you can easily butt the material up in the middle, and then that will give you your full width of the wallboard. And then with a 50-foot roll, you're able to overlay 3 full wall panels. And with a 100-foot roll, you're able to overlay 6 full wall panels. So the colors that are more of the mainstays that we see more commonly within RVs today, that we would probably recommend that you'd want to do a 100-foot panel or 100-foot roll. And the rolls that are more of the accent colors, the fashion forward designs, that'd be more ideal for the 50-foot rolls.
Okay, that makes sense. And in looking at an RV, 100-foot roll maybe doesn't sound like a lot at first, but when you really look at your RV, windows, sofas, furniture, cabinets, 100-foot roll will go pretty far.
Absolutely.
It's not like you're gonna have to have 6 of those rolls. So that's, you get that out of your head, I guess, really, because I was
Right.
thinking about it. You're all of a sudden you're slicing and dicing. You're not going to use 100 feet up
Right.
real quick. It's going to take a while to go through that
Yeah.
in most RVs, because there's so much
hmm
stuff in there packed in on the walls that there's really not that much wall in some cases.
Right. It's perfect for a finish one of the rooms now and come back to a different room, like a bathroom later on.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you do one room, you're just going to have to keep on going. There's no stopping, I think. It's going to
Yeah.
look, you're going to like, man, that's a new house.
Yeah, it looks brand new, and these are all super clean designs as well.
Yeah, you want to hug that RV and show it some love.
Fall in love with it again, right?
So, someone does this, they go to all this work and they make their RV look, totally awesome again. How long will this material last on the walls?
This is so that's the beautiful thing about Revive with its specialized adhesive. It's going to be permanent. 72 hours. The only way that after 72 hours it's cured, and once it's cured, the only way that it's coming off is if the material behind it that you're overlaying comes off as well. So this becomes permanent after 72 hours. If you want to change it, you just overlay it with more Revive.
There you go. So if you had some of the previous laminate overlay coming off,
hmm
and you're going to use a Revive product, you'd want to pull off as much as that would
Absolutely.
just come off, and then
Yep.
sand down the edges and kind of feather it out.
You're like a pro already, Eric. So yeah, you just want to lightly tear off the overlay that is the film that's there. You want to just lightly sand the threshold, the edges of where the film is, and then overlay. And what's nice about it is that with the thickness of the vinyl and the emboss that's there, you're not necessarily going to see that where you made that tear. So it's really nice. It's just going to lay flat over it, and it's going to be able to hide any of those where the film came off before.
Right. All right. Perfect. Yeah. So this really sounds like the ideal product. It looks like it, and the installation, I think, is anybody could do this pretty much with just taking a deep breath and go at it. Now, with the walls sound pretty easy. Now the ceilings might be a little tougher because you're working up.
hmm
So is that really the only difference? You're just working up, and maybe
Yeah,
two people need to be there, one holding it as you're
yeah.
squeezing it out.
So ceiling, it's really the same type of process. Obviously, it's up on the ceiling, but it's the same overlay type of process. What we've seen is that in some dealerships is that they have panels that they're just overlaying and then installing, or for retail, what it would be is that you know where your lineup is, you make your initial stick, and then you just work it across the top of the ceiling. Yeah, I would recommend making sure that your space is clear so you're not, as you look up, you don't trip over anything. And having someone there to help would be nice as well. But what you can do, and you'll realize this as you're overlaying walls as well, just unroll the roll, have the roll kind of like rolled out, and then
Right.
just work the material towards the bottom or the side of the panel that you're working on.
Right. So starting off with walls would be the best way to go. Get a little practice done on
Yep, yep.
and then do the ceiling.
It's funny. So I'm assuming most of your viewers and listeners, and then most techs already, they're going to be able to get the hang of this super quickly. It took and significantly faster than it took for me to be able to get this down. DIYers, they always surprise me. People come up to us at shows and they have really cool ideas on how to make the installation process easier, and they there's always great ideas with this. So yeah, I would say starting with a wall with some practice is great. And I have a feeling that a lot of people that are going to be listening to this will probably already be pretty good at this.
Yeah, it just made me think that this probably would start a lot of businesses. People will buy this and go into the renovation
Yeah,
work for, start doing renovations for a living
absolutely.
because it's so easy.
Absolutely. So this is a dealership and a mobile technician's dream product, because never before have you been able to just overlay like regular wallpaper. It's great. It's it's a great product, but it's meant to be in your home. And when you wallpaper at things in your home, your house is staying right around 72 degrees. There's not a ton of humidity. It's not getting super hot or super cold. And let's be honest, your house isn't moving unless there's like an earthquake or whatever is happening. But,
Right.
but an RV is a house on wheels, and you're going to go into super hot temperatures, super cold temperatures, very humid temperatures, and you're going and you're going to be moving. This is not going to stick. This is meant to stick for the long haul. The adhesive is different than a regular wallpaper, and that's what makes Revive so special. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this product just sounds awesome. Now, one thing I do want to make sure our listeners understand, and because it's important, and why you would use Revive over buying panels if you can find them. Panels aren't exactly the easiest thing to find, whether it's wall boards or the ceiling panels. And of course, cabinets, to have cabinets remade would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So buying panels versus using your product, what do you think the cost difference would be?
Right. So really what people can do is, if retail, when you're looking at a 50-foot roll that's going to overlay three up to three panels, retail is going to be right around the $220 mark, so less than $100 a panel. If someone wanted just a brand new panel that they can overlay, they can use our product Revive on brand new panels and replace, if they wanted to do that. But if they just wanted to overlay, they're going to be able to get away with almost an entire room for under $220. Now the 100-foot rolls, they're a little bit more expensive, double the product, but the value is there. That's going to be right around that $380 mark for a 100-foot roll that covers 6 full wall boards. And like we said earlier, you're going to be able to cover most of your RV with that.
Right. And the panels, to buy them,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter what RV service center gets them, they're going to have them shipped to them. They're
Yep.
going to come on a truck.
Yep.
So you're going to pay trucking freight, which is,
Yep.
you could spend $200 to $300 to $500 or $600 on that.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to crate them at the factory, put
Mm-hmm.
all the panels in a crate. So there's a crating charge.
Yep.
And then when you get them, it's going to be inevitably, corners will be broken, edges will be rough, the material might have rubbed wrong and
Mm-hmm.
wore out spots in it, so you're going to have wear marks. So I think if you bought 10 panels, you might have 7 or 8 that would actually be good panels.
Right. And you're paying a premium for the shipping, because to palletize a 4x8 panel is unbelievably expensive, just like you said. And you have to wait. There's long wait times there, because when you go through the dealership, who then goes through the OEM, who then comes to Genesis, it takes a while. We're in production. I would say that our manufacturing skills are phenomenal, and we're very fast with what we do, but we have a ton of work that is going on at all times. So we'd have to wait for that color to come back through before we can do some extras, and then we would be able to ship everything off. So it takes some time. It takes some time. It takes a lot of money. Revive is immediate. There's over 230 dealerships throughout the country that are carrying Revive right now. and retail customers are able to go there and able to get the color that they need, the design that they need, and they can have new wallboards and new interior very quickly.
All right. So yeah, and you can go to Home Depot and buy a Luan panel and put the Revive on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you feel you need new panels, there you go. There's a simple solution. But buying them, even if you could find, you're not going to find the panels like a finished panel at Home Depot, Lowe's, or any place like that. You're going to have to go through an RV service center. And again, it's the time, it's the money. So doing a room with your RV with this product is going to be less than half the price. Probably 30%.
There's going to be tons of cost savings. Tons of cost savings.
Yeah, it'd be phenomenal. And then if you mess up and you ruin a panel, you got to get one more.
Right.
It'll be a long wait and very expensive. So this is the way to go. You mess up a wall, you can redo it. So the Revive product line. So Alex, I think you've answered all the questions. So for our listeners out there, if you have any more questions, you can contact me at our website, thesmartrver.com, or you can go to Revive. Or what's your website, Alex? I forget it. It's
genesisproductsinc.com, and then there's the slash Revive.
Okay, so there you go. So any other questions, you could also go to Revive and ask them. They're the experts. I mean, I'm an expert, but they're the true experts on this product. So, Alex, I want to thank you for coming by today. We really appreciate the time and sharing your expertise with us.
Eric, thanks for having me. Really excited to be here, and happy to answer any questions that any of the listeners have.
All right, so we appreciate the time Alex spent with us, and just a reminder to go ahead and check out the Revive website. And as always, there'll be a link to it in the description of this podcast, and there's links to them on our website, thesmartrver.com. So you can find them no problem, and they got a great product as brought out in the interview, and we've talked about them a little bit lately because the product is so awesome. It's just unbelievable, man. It's really nice. All right, so now that takes us to the next stop, and today we're going to start with San Jose, the heart of the Silicon Valley. So, Alexis, why on earth would you want to go to San Jose?
Well, I'm in Santa Fe, so hold on. Oh my goodness. Wow.
No worries. We can edit.
They look the same.
Do you know your way to Santa Fe?
Apparently not. Jeez. Okay, there we go.
Oh my God, what was happening?
Okay, there's my beautiful script. Okay, beautiful. All right. All right. Cue me up.
Just go.
Okay, so today, Eric and I have traveled all the way to San Jose, California. It's in the heart of the Silicon Valley, if you didn't know that. I'm sure whoever lives there, they do know that. So I'll go ahead and share top eats and RV tips. Let's dive right into the food scene. For amazing falafel, you know what that is?
Falafel?
Yeah.
I thought it was just mispronunciation of a waffle.
It's a real thing.
Really? What's a
Yes.
falafel?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. It's like a bread thing, right? Yeah. Check out Falafel's Drive-In. Very cool. If you're craving brunch, Bill's Cafe has you covered. Every kind of breakfast food you could want. And don't miss La Victoria's Taqueria. Their orange sauce is legendary, I hear. Legendary. So you have to try it. You have to order something with orange sauce. And for the RV travelers, we know not everybody does this, but we do focus on the RV travelers, of course. Coyote Valley RV Resort is an excellent spot with fantastic amenities. If you need a propane or dump station, there's a U-Haul near there on North 13th Street, and the Coyote Valley RV Resort have you sorted out on that. So they've got things for you to be able to hook up to and dump. It's great because, we all need to know where that is, and if we plan ahead, that's perfect. So knowing where you can do that is perfect. And then on the cultural side, San Jose, the museum in San Jose of Art and Tech Interactive are must visits. Very neat art, a lot of interesting things there, either for a couple or a family. Either way, very interesting. and Japantown. It's a hidden gem with a lot of cultural events and fantastic food. Super cool. Google it. Japantown is very neat. And so, all in all, we want to make the most of your travels here, and we want to talk about things that interest you. And that's really what all Next Stop is about. We want to just sprinkle some things in about where to go. You know, both of us, I mean, you might have been there. I haven't been there yet, so I can't talk on it like a professional, but you guys know that. We throw these things out, we do research on them, and we want you to be interested in where you go.
Awesome. So yeah, San Jose is a great place, and Alexis was laughing pretty good there, and we got in this. We had a little technical glitch. Either that or that Instant Pot she was talking about is something else that we need to have a conversation about later, maybe. It's hard to tell, you know. So, San Jose is a great place. You know, they wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
Do you know the way to San Jose? Blah, blah, blah. So, that was a long time ago. San Jose has probably changed quite a bit, but like every city, they grow up and become big cities. But it's still a cool place. And what's nice about it, too, it's a good hub.
Yeah, very.
Because of where it's at, you can go to different places. You got the coast nearby. You got all sorts of stuff nearby, inland. One thing about California, you have them cities that sometimes you're an hour away and from a lot of different things, you know. Like here, we're an hour away from the mountains if you go north. If you go south, we're an hour away. If you go east, we're an hour away just from the mountains.
Yep.
We're surrounded by mountains.
We are.
Wow.
Crazy.
That happened. All right. So now that's going to bring us to Shadows of the Past, Towns That Once Were. And we're going to visit Carmel by the Sea. And we're going to do one of these readings about it again. I just happened to got another script. Gotta. Man, I gotta learn how to talk. So my grandpappy Popeye came by again last night.
Aw.
And he gave me a fresh one. I had one that was all crumpled up.
I know. Where did that go?
Gonna read it. All right. So here we go. So this is about Carmel by the Sea. Now, Carmel by the Sea is a cool place, and I just want to preface that because sometimes you might think it's near San Jose and it's a big city, but it's not. It's still a small little place. It's quaint, wonderful thing. All right, so here we go. Carmel by the Sea is a charming little town on California's central coast, like something from a fairy tale, with its cozy cottages, artsy vibe, and stunning ocean views. It's a place full of adventure and wonder. As you stroll through town, you'll find amazing shops, colorful art galleries, and friendly cafes. The Carmel Art Association has amazing paintings, and the Forest Theater puts on magical shows under the twinkling stars. Book lovers will adore Carmel's literary history. Famous poet Robinson Jeffers built a beautiful tour house by the sea, and Pilgrim's Way bookstore is packed with stories waiting to be discovered. Hungry? Stop by La Bicyclette for yummy wood-fired pizza or enjoy Mediterranean flavors of Matra Cafe. The Tuck Box is the perfect spot for tea and warm, buttery scones. For nature lovers, Carmel Beach is the perfect place to dig your toes in the sand and watch the waves. Nearby Point Lobo State Natural Reserve has wild trails, playful sea otters, and jaw-dropping ocean views. While Carmel's tiny streets aren't great for RVs, there are awesome spots nearby to park and stay. Carmel by the River Park is peaceful and green. Marina Dunes RV Resort has ocean views, and Laguna Seca Recreation Area is perfect for hiking fans. With its artsy charm, cool history, and beautiful scenery, Carmel by the Sea is like stepping into a sensational world. Whether you're watching a play, eating tasty treats, or exploring the beach, you'll always find adventure here. Wow, I'm ready to go.
It's lovely. I love it.
All these places that, now I've been to San Jose, but I haven't been to Carmel.
Yeah, it's cool. Very quaint.
You know, there are some good places in California.
There are.
I hate to give it credit, you know. So, you know, as we talk about this, one of the things we'd like to get from you out there in listener land is your experiences from places you've gone to.
Yes,
pictures,
please.
stories. You can use the contact us page on the smartrver.com website to do that. We'll also have a link to it in the description as well. But we'd like to hear this stuff because we know you guys are going to places that we're not probably seeing. Or maybe it is places we're going to and we're missing some things you'd like to bring out. Now, we talk about these different places we go to, like Silicon or San Jose. There's much more on our website than what we covered in the episode, like always. And we're really digging in on this where Alexis is working hard. She's bringing out all the campgrounds, RV dump stations, maps, pictures galore. I mean, we're really working at it. So we appreciate you looking at that, but also sharing where you've been, especially pictures. Pictures really tell 1,000 words,
Yes,
right?
they do.
All right. So that's totally awesome. Now, we don't have an RV Envy today because the interview is taking place of that. So we're just going to skip right on past that.
Sounds good.
So without that RV Envy, which actually, it goes back to the Icon Tools.
I was going to say.
That's really what was scheduled, but it got moved around. The Icon Tools kind of fill that gap as well. That's a twofer, a 2-for-1.
It's a twofer.
Came today. You're expecting one. You got two. All right. So as a final reminder here, check out our YouTube channel. We're still growing. We're looking for more subscribers as always. So we haven't reached that 10,000 mark yet. We're still a little shy, a little over 7,000, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
You guys are trying, man. We appreciate that too. All right, so our next episode is going to be episode 172. So we had a great show today, and I want to thank Alexis for her hard work on what she does for the show as well. So this is Eric Stark with the Smart RVer Podcast, your go-to guide for smarter RVing and unforgettable adventures on the open road.